I feel your brain needs some nice tricky workout. I've got just the thing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It was raining heavily in the evening. Lauren told her young daughters to go to bed. Sometime later, she went to check on them. As soon as she opened the door to their room, she realized that one of them had sneaked out and returned without her permission. Look at the room and try to figure out which girl it was. It was the girl on the left. Look, both pairs of sneakers are in their place, but the ones on the left are covered with dirt. Alexa has been running at the stadium every day for several months, preparing for upcoming athletic competitions. And they start today. Alexa is warming up when she notices a skinny guy among other runners. His legs look thin and seem to be weak. Alexa feels skeptical about his running abilities. Anyway, they get into the starting position. 3, 2, 1, go! Alexa is running as fast as she can. Suddenly, she notices that the guy she paid attention to earlier is running much faster than her, and he doesn't even look tired. Eventually, he wins. But how did he do it? He's not a real athlete. In fact, he isn't even a human. He doesn't sweat, he doesn't blink, and he has 2 left hands. Yikes. A guy bought a fishing pole that was 6 feet 3 inches long. When he wanted to get on the bus with this fishing pole, the driver stopped him. The man told the guy that he couldn't take anything longer than 6 feet onto the bus. The guy went back into town and bought one more thing, and the driver allowed him on the bus. What did the guy buy, and what did he do with it? The guy bought a 6-foot long box. He put the fishing pole in it diagonally, and the entire package turned out to be only 6 feet long. Julia was angry with her boyfriend. She sent a message to her best friend who lived abroad. In this message, the girl complained about the mistakes the guy had made. But her friend sent her a very strange reply. Give, get, give, get, give, get, give, get. What did Julia's friend mean? She wanted to say that Julia should forgive and forget. Gemma was a mermaid living in the Pacific Ocean. One day she was swimming near the surface when she spotted 2 handsome guys. Both of them seemed to be in trouble. Look at them attentively and try to figure out who Gemma should save first. This wooden boat is indeed filled with water. But it's still okay, and the guy inside can scoop this water out. But this guy's inflatable boat is damaged. He will soon find himself in the water, and this shark will be all too happy to snack on him. He needs Gemma's help urgently. One hotel guest discovered her diamond necklace and earrings were missing after a party in the lobby. Someone must have stolen her jewelry. The hotel management invited a detective. After questioning all guests and staff members, the detective had 3 suspects. Walter, another hotel guest, Alice, a maid, and Alan, a porter. The detective decided to check their rooms. What he saw was enough for him to understand who the thief was. Can you figure it out too? It's Alice. There's an already packed suitcase in her room. She's about to run away with the stolen jewelry. Galaxy Detective Varamcha was on a case. A spaceship was lost. Her partner, Galaxy Junior Detective Brightbulb, gave her a piece of paper. It was the location of the spaceship. This is what the slip had scribbled on it. Juice, umbrella, potato, ice, tomato, elephant, rice. Where do you think the spaceship is? Right, it's on Jupiter. You just need to pay attention to the first letters of these words. Look at these girls. It seems to be a tough competition. But guess what? One of these girls is cheating. Can you figure out who it is? It's the girl on the left. Strangely, she doesn't look tired. Ah, do you see that USB port in her neck? She's a robot. Someone stole the money Adam kept in his safe. After watching the security footage, the police figured out that it had happened at midnight. They questioned 3 suspects. Julia said she'd gone to bed at 10 p.m. and fallen asleep right away. Parker told the detective he'd been watching TV from 11:45 p.m. to 1 a.m. And Aiden said he'd been with his friends, playing computer games all night. The police arrested the thief. Who was it? It was Parker. He was suspiciously specific about the time. Elijah went on a cruise. On the 3rd day, he noticed that one of the staff members was an impostor. Look at them attentively and try to guess who it is. This waitress is actually hiding a police badge under her floral garland. She must be undercover. Samantha needed to check something online, but her phone's battery was flat. She grabbed her brother's device, but it was password protected. Suddenly, a hint appeared on the screen. While I am in the air, I am not in oxygen. I am also in water, but not in hydrogen. I am necessary for all animals, but you won't find me in a zoo. Look in all brains, and you'll find me there too. Can you figure out the password? It's the letter A. Dora went to study for her exam in a coffee shop. She ordered some tea with milk, opened her laptop, and started working. At one point, she went to the bathroom. When she returned, her laptop wouldn't switch on and her cup was empty. Someone had spilled the tea on her computer, causing it to crash. Dora called the manager and told him what had happened. They came up with 3 suspects. The barista said he had been extremely busy and hadn't seen anything. The supervisor said he was sorry the milk tea had spilled on the computer. He also promised to check if the insurance would cover the cost. The second barista was also sorry about her milk tea damaging the computer. He offered Dora to make her another cup while they were waiting for the police to arrive. The manager immediately understood who had ruined Dora's laptop. Have you figured it out? It was the supervisor. He couldn't have known the tea had milk in it. As for the second barista, he knew about the milk because he was the one to prepare Dora's order. Caroline went for a walk in the park, deep in her thoughts. The girl wasn't really looking where she was going. That's why she didn't notice a deep pit in the ground and fell into it. When she came round, she found herself in a strange room. There were no windows, no door. The girl saw a table with 3 apples on it. And was it a note? To get out of this trap, you've got to eat an apple, but only one of them isn't poisoned. Pick carefully. Caroline was terrified. But after examining the apples, she bravely bit into one of them. And nothing bad happened. Which apple did she choose? The girl chose the apple with a worm peeking out of it. If it could eat the fruit, a human probably could too. Detective Adam Bonders worked undercover at a luxurious resort. The police suspected that the hotel owners were involved in some shady deals. Adam's main task was to sneak into the manager's office and check the documents. But the door was locked, and there was a combination lock. Adam had to figure out the password. The detective knew he needed to solve a math riddle, and the answer would be the code. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 1 plus 1 times 0 plus 1 equals. As soon as he punched in the code, the door opened. What was the correct number? It's 30. There are no mathematical symbols at the end of the first and second lines. It means the whole thing looks like this. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 11 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 11 plus 1 times 0 plus 1 equals 30. I know you want to give your brain a shake. And I also know the perfect way to do it. Get ready for a new portion of tricky riddles. A man had a book that was worth $50,000. There were only 2 such books in existence. He threw the book into the furnace, reducing it to a pile of soot. Why did he do this? He destroyed the book because he had both copies. After destroying one of them, there was only one left, so its value immediately went up. Mr. Brown's sons found their dad unconscious on the floor of his office. They immediately called their father's friend, Detective Smith. The detective knew that Mr. Brown was uber wealthy. His sons were going to inherit loads of money, but one of them must have needed money urgently. Smith questioned each of the brothers separately. David, the oldest, said, "I came in to feed the fish, and Dad was still fine." Marcus said that he had come in to discuss his business plans, and his father had given him some great advice. And Lucas, the youngest brother, said, "I entered Dad's office because I needed a favor. I wanted to take his car to impress the girl I like." Detective Smith immediately realized who was lying. And you? It's David. He said he had come to feed the fish. And indeed, there's an aquarium in the office. But there are no fish in it. Sarah and Liam had a son called Oliver. On Saturday, the couple went out for dinner and left Oliver at home. When they returned, the boy was nowhere to be found.
Oh no!
The anxious parents called the police. A detective arrived and questioned everyone in the house. The babysitter said she'd been packing Oliver's school bag for the next day. The maid said she'd spent the whole evening cleaning the kitchen, and the cook said he'd been preparing food for the next day. He was listening to music and didn't hear anything. The police immediately knew who was lying. And what about you? It was the babysitter. Children don't go to school on Sundays, so Oliver didn't need his school bag to be packed. Detective Adams arrived at the Museum of Modern Music because someone had stolen legendary shoes that belonged to Elvis Presley. A museum guard told the detective that they had reviewed the footage from security cameras and found out that all visitors had come in and left empty-handed, and the shoes were too bulky to put them in a pocket or under a t-shirt. Detective Adams examined the footage and said he knew who had stolen the shoes. Have you figured it out? It's the red-headed guy. When he entered the exhibition, he was shorter than other visitors. But when he was leaving, he was as tall as the others. He must be wearing Elvis's high-heeled shoes. Let's check how attentive you are. Look at this picture and try to figure out what's wrong here. The teacher is very suspicious. She doesn't get reflected in the mirror. Now, how about these people? What are they doing wrong? See that coffee machine in the background? The cup is placed incorrectly and the coffee is spilling. A witch owned a field that had many gold mines. She hired one person at a time to mine that gold for her. She promised 10% of what that person mined in a day, and they would have to give her the rest. But the witch was blind, so she had 3 magic bags that could talk. They reported how much gold they held each day, and this was how she found out if the workers were cheating. Upon getting the job, each person agreed that if they weren't honest, they would be turned into stone. Around the witch's mines, there were many stone statues. A man named Logan once accepted the job. The witch promised him, "If I wrongly accuse you of cheating, I'll be turned into stone." One night, Logan overheard the bags talking to the witch. The next evening, he submitted some gold and kept 1.6 pounds for himself. Later, the witch talked to her bags. The first bag said it held 16 pounds that day. The second one said it held 5 pounds. The third one said it held 2 pounds. The witch confronted Logan. "You think you could fool me? Now you shall turn into stone," she screamed. 1 second later, the witch turned into a stone statue herself. How did Logan deceive her? Logan put 2 pounds of gold in bag number 1, 3 pounds in bag number 2, and 11 pounds in bag number 3. He then put bag number 2 into bag number 3, and bag number 1 into bag number 2. Each of the bags only felt the weight of the gold above it. Thus, they inadvertently gave the message that 23 pounds of gold had been mined. 2 cars are driving through the city. They both started their journey at the same time. The green car is moving at a speed of 30 miles per hour. The yellow car is faster. Its speed is 50 miles per hour. And still, at one point, the green car comes across the yellow car. How is it possible? The cars are traveling in opposite directions. Larry called the police because he had some concerns about his friend Brandon. He said, "Brandon has recently returned from Brazil and has been behaving strangely since then. I've just received a weird phone call from him. I think it would be better if you came with me." When police officers picked him up, Larry gave them the address. He explained he hadn't been there yet. Brandon rented the place soon after he came back from his trip. When they arrived at the house, they saw a mess inside. There was some paint spilled on the floor, and one police officer accidentally stepped into it. Larry noticed it. "How unlucky! Let me take you to the bathroom." After that, he immediately got arrested. Why?
Uh-oh.
Larry said he'd never visited Brandon's new home before. Then how did he know where the bathroom was? John's mom got angry with the guy and locked him in his room. But she wasn't cruel. She left her son a chance to get out of there. To do it, he needed to find the answer to this riddle. Turn me on my side and I am everything. Cut me in half and I am nothing. What am I? Can you help the guy to escape? The answer is the number 8. On its side, it's infinity, but cut it in half, and you'll get 2 zeros. It's a 5-digit whole number. It reads the same, forward, backward, and upside down. Its second digit is half of the third one. The 5th digit is the product of the first and the second ones. And the sum of all the digits is 10. What number is it? It's 10801. Eric got lost in a museum. While he was trying to find a way out, it got really late. All the doors were already closed. Finally, the guy saw 3 staircases. The first one was all covered in bizarre nettles with razor-sharp leaves and long spikes. The second had giant, stinking flowers with a stench almost impossible to bear. And the third staircase was an impassable jungle of cacti. Which staircase should Eric choose? He should opt for the second staircase. Even though the flowers are gross, they're relatively harmless. When you add 5 to 6, you will get 11. But when you add 6 to 7, you will get 1. How is that possible? It's possible when you're looking at a clock. A coin is put into an empty bottle. Then this bottle is plugged with a cork. How can you remove the coin without breaking the bottle or pulling the cork out? All you need to do is push the cork into the bottle and shake the coin out.
Izzy wants to open a cozy hotel in the countryside. She asks her agent to find a property that meets her goals perfectly. The agent offers 4 options, but only one of them is trustworthy. Can you help Izzy make the right decision? The first house looks pretty rich and fancy, but the ceiling and the walls are covered with mold. According to the description, the third building will only be finished by 2055. And the fourth hotel is located next to a toxic factory, so Izzy should pick the second property. Izzy heads to Rose Valley to see a property for herself, but unfortunately, it starts raining heavily, and Izzy crashes into a tree. She's fine, but her car is broken. Izzy walks through the woods and finds an abandoned mansion nearby. She enters it to hide from the rain. Suddenly, the gate shuts down behind her. Izzy wanders around the house for a while and finds 3 doors leading outside. But each way has hidden dangers. There's a waterfall of toxic acid behind the first door. There's a pool with hungry piranhas behind the second door. And the third route is filled with fire. Which door should Izzy choose? The third one. We mentioned that the doors lead outside the castle. It's been raining heavily in the woods, so the fire was gone long ago. The next morning, Izzy finally arrives at Rose Valley, and she spots 5 odd things about this place right away. Can you see them too? The house numbering is mirrored. There's a small crocodile crawling around the trash bin. The aircraft in the sky is moving backwards. The stop sign is hanging upside down. And finally, this woman waters her flowers with bleach. Izzy decides to taste the local bakery. One Dutch pretzel costs $4.05, and for the price of one 8-shaped bagel is $3. Also, they give away buns for free. Can you calculate the price of one donut? One donut will cost $1.50. This bakery takes $1.50 per hole. And this classic donut only has 1 hole. The cook brings in a fresh tray with strawberry tartlets. Can you spot which tartlet is different from the others? Each tartlet has 7 strawberries, except for this one. Izzy likes the local hotel and decides to buy the property. It belongs to Sheila, a rich and egocentric young lady. Sheila offers Izzy a deal. I'll give you a 50% discount if you can guess which one of these guys is my boyfriend. Can you help Izzy spot the right guy? It's the man on the left. They have tickets to the same event. Izzy and Sheila go to the local bank to close the deal. 3 managers greet them at the entrance, but one of these workers is an impostor. Can you guess who? Take a closer look at the bank logo. The second guy's badge matches the logo perfectly. The third lady doesn't wear any badges, but maybe she's left it on the desk. But the first gentleman has a fake logo on his badge. Therefore, he's the imposter. The next day, Izzy greets her first visitor. It's Bill. He asks her to hire him and tells Izzy his story. I was kidnapped and locked in a room. I found a note from the criminal. It said, put $5,000 under the door. I'll come to pick them up in the evening and then give you the key. But I didn't have $1. Only an expired credit card. However, I managed to get out. How? Bill used his card to push the tongue of the lock back and opened the door. In his college years, Bill was very shy. He desperately wished to find a soulmate. Bill used to visit different places to meet as many ladies as possible. And then one day, he entered a coffee shop and saw a stranger. He fell in love with her right away. Bill got the nerve up and asked her out on a date. She said, "I'll go if you guess my name," and handed him this clue. Today, this lady is Bill's wife. What's her name? Eve. 31st of December is New Year's Eve. Izzy likes Bill and she's ready to hire him. I only have one last riddle for you. There are 15 birds sitting on a fence and you throw something at one of them. How many are left? None. The rest would have flown away. The next morning, Izzy enters the hotel lobby and sees a welcoming fruit basket. The sender is unknown. Only 3 people are in the hotel today: Mike, Bill, and Jeff. Izzy questions them. Mike says,
I arrived here first and spent all the time fixing the roof.
Bill says,
I mowed the lawn and the garden, so I didn't see who brought the basket.
and Jeff says, I was checking the pipes in the hotel room. Everything's fine, by the way. Who's lying? Bill. He said he had mowed the lawn, but the grass is still very tall. Repair works are over, and Izzy throws an opening party in her new hotel. There, she meets Peter, who falls in love with her right away. Izzy decides to challenge his intelligence and offers him a riddle. What word is spelled wrong in every dictionary? Peter doesn't know the answer. What about you? The word wrong is spelled wrong in every dictionary. The next day, 3 tourists arrive at the hotel and check in. Can you guess which guy is her boyfriend? This one. They have the same t-shirts. Izzy meets 3 hotel guests in the dining hall: Lily, Frank, and Kitty. One of them has recently lost all their money. Can you guess who? Lily's sandals don't look neat, but it doesn't prove anything. Although Frank looks messy too, he has many expensive gadgets. Kitty is the most elegant, but she sneaks food from the buffet and hides it in her beach bag, probably because she can't afford to buy it. Izzy goes to the hotel basement and gets lost. She faints and wakes up locked in a room without either food or water. There are 3 doors with some signs on them: the letter M, an arrow, and a heart. Suddenly, Izzy hears a voice from somewhere above.
You'll get out of here alive only through the 4th door. Good luck.
But there are only 3 doors. Izzy looks around from the floor to the ceiling. Where is the 4th door? Here it is. Each sign means a double figure. The hotel needs urgent repair work. Izzy sends her locksmith, Mike, to the construction supermarket to get the necessary tools. A couple of hours later, Izzy begins to panic. Mike never came back. She sends him a message, asking where he is. Mike replies,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to visit my sick grandfather on the way. He lives alone outside the village. There are no shops or any other infrastructure near his house, so I brought him some food and medicines.
Izzy is very touched. She agrees to postpone the repairs. Mike thanks her and sends her this picture. Izzy looks at the photo and realizes that Mike is a liar. How did she know? Take a closer look at the car. The word casino is reflected in the windscreen. But Mike said that his grandfather lived in a remote area. Izzy goes to check the work of her new cleaning lady. Can you spot 3 differences between these 2 hotel rooms? Here they are. And what about these 2 interiors? Can you spot 3 differences? Over here. Stuart works as a teacher in an old British magic school, which is located in a beautiful castle. Early in the morning, he's walking down the corridor. Suddenly, Stuart hears a loud noise from the class and goes there to check. He sees 3 students raising their wands. One of them is a fake wizard. Can you guess who? This guy, he has an ordinary twig instead of a magic wand. Stuart settles down the quarrel and goes to the dining hall. He chooses one of these 4 breakfast sets. But Stuart doesn't eat any meat or fish. Also, he's allergic to all the purple fruits and berries. Can you help him choose the safest option? First of all, let's exclude the first breakfast. This cotton cheese bagel looks good, but it contains salmon. The second set has toast with blueberry jam, which may cause an allergic reaction. As for the fourth option, fried bacon is hiding under this cute waffle. So, Stuart should choose the third option. Although it contains some purple cabbage, nobody said that he's allergic to purple vegetables too. The cook offers Stuart a deal.
If you guess my riddle, you'll get a double dessert.
Stuart agrees. Here's the riddle.
What melts in a freezer?
The frost when the freezer is switched off. After breakfast, Stuart goes to the school greenhouse to say hi to Miss Palmer. She looks very confused.
In the morning, 3 evil wizards opened a magical portal and snuck into the greenhouse. They took the shape of my plants, and now I don't know where they are.
Can you help Stuart find them? Take a look at this cactus. It has no root. It just floats in the air without a pot. All the lilies have 6 petals, but this one only has 5. And this pumpkin has a watermelon pattern and color. Therefore, these 3 odd plants should be the wizards. Stuart walks down the Great Hall. Suddenly, an owl lands on his head and ruins his hairstyling. Stuart gets furious and asks 3 students standing nearby, "Whose owl is this?" Can you spot the owner of this bird? It's this guy. He has the same colored accessory as his owl. It's time for the flying lesson. 3 students, Wendy, Drake, and Blair, are about to have a race on their broomsticks. Can you spot who's cheating? Blair is casting a spell on her broomstick to make it go faster. Blair gets disqualified. Meanwhile, Drake and Wendy and Rob get ready to start the race. Can you guess who's gonna win? Drake has a broken broom, and Rob's position is wrong. It will take him more time to catch the broom and hit the road, so Wendy has the best chance of winning. Stuart begins transfiguration lesson. He gives each of his students an apple and asks them to turn the fruits into stones. And then Stuart goes to the toilet. After a while, he returns and finds a huge toad sitting on his desk. Stuart questions 3 suspects. Among the students, Drake says, "I didn't do it. I was too busy with your task. Luckily, I made it." Bella says,
It was Magnus. I saw him catching a toad in the pond last night.
and Magnus says,
It was Drake. He wanted to distract you because he didn't do his homework.
who's lying? Drake. Take a look at his desk. There's an apple in front of him, but he said that he succeeded in turning it into a stone. Stuart is riding a broom in the garden during his lunch break. Suddenly, someone throws a purple paint tube on his head. Stuart loses balance and falls. He finds 3 suspects and interrogates them. Billy says,
I was just sitting under this ancient oak and doing my own work.
Bella says,
I was painting Billy's portrait. At some point, I noticed that my purple paint was missing. We both were here all the time.
and Lily says,
I was just flying on my broom. I didn't even see any paint, sir.
who pranked Stuart? There's purple paint on Bella's hands, but it's okay because she was painting. Billy's outfit looks fine, but Lily has these odd smudges of purple paint on her hair. That's because she hid the tube under her witchy hat after the prank. Stuart is visiting the human world once a week because he loves one local bakery. But today, he finds out that he's not the only magical guy here. Can you guess why? Take a look at this pretty lady. She looks young, but her reflection in the mirror shows she's an old witchy lady. Every winter, a fancy ball takes place at the magic school. Several students perform a traditional dance as part of the opening ceremony. Suddenly, one of the dancers, Lily, loses her balance and falls in front of everyone. Stuart decides to investigate this case and finds out that someone had spilled olive oil on the dance floor on purpose. He interrogates 3 suspects. Harry says,
Sir, I didn't do it. Lily is my girlfriend. Why would I prank her so meanly?
Richard says, Lily totally deserved that. She refused to go to the ball with me. I don't know who did it, but I'm grateful to this person. And Bella says,
Before the performance, I was taking selfies with my boyfriend. Look at the pictures, if you don't believe me.
Now Stuart knows exactly who's guilty. What about you? It was Bella. Take a look at her selfies. She's wearing a witch bottle necklace and it's filled with greenish oil, but now it's empty. The magic school hired a photographer to take fancy pictures at the ball. This photo was taken at midnight, and this one half an hour later. Can you guess what happened here? This wizard didn't push her. He was actually trying to save her by raising his hands and casting a spell. And he succeeded, as we can see from the second picture. The winter ball is over. Stuart throws an after party for teachers at his apartment. Everything goes well, but the next day, Stuart finds out that someone had stolen the rarest and most expensive spell book from his secret library. Stuart has never told anyone about this room, but the lock isn't broken, which means that the thief knew a special spell to open the door. Only 4 guests possess this level of magic: Ambrose, Morgana, Rosamond, and Richard. Stuart rushes to the teacher's room. He questions all the suspects. Each teacher claims to have nothing to do with the robbery. Can you guess who's the thief? Ambrose. His coat is missing 1 gold button because he dropped it at the crime scene. Meanwhile, Ambrose looks through the spellbook and finds a potion recipe that allows teleporting anywhere. But unfortunately, the last 3 ingredients are encoded. Here's a hint to crack the first one. It's a flower that can be found between the nose and the chin. Any idea what it might be? Tulips. Here's the next hint. What kind of vegetable do people look forward to getting every month? Celery. And this clue will lead you to the final ingredient. What kind of room can you eat? Mushroom. Ambrose finishes the potion and teleports to an unknown place. In the evening, Stuart arranges an urgent Zoom call with his fellow wizards. They're all currently in the same city, but they don't have time to meet offline. Unfortunately, their video call gets interrupted by a stranger. Can you spot the impostor? All the wizards live in the same city, which means they're in the same time zone. The call takes place in the evening. It should be dark outside, but this guy is in the middle of a sunny day. Therefore, he's the imposter. Stuart goes to the magic market to buy special ingredients for a potion that will help him find the stolen book. 1 violet costs 10 bronze coins, and the price for 1 lily is 15 coins. Can you calculate the price of this 1 starflower? One starflower will cost 20 bronze coins. Each flower costs 2.5 coins per petal. And this particular starflower has 8 petals. Sue's friend works at a celebrity PR agency. He informs Sue about a big party that has all the A-listers that will attend and invites her there. There will be a secret entrance code at the door, and it's the answer to this riddle. What always runs but never walks, often murmurs, never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, has a mouth but never eats. The answer is a river. James, Charles, and Harry participated in the 76th Adventure Marathon. Harry ended the race in 3rd place, James in 2nd place, and Charles in 1st place. However, right before they were given their medals, Charles got disqualified. Can you tell why? Do you see the marathon map on the board next to where the medals are? It shows that the runners have to go through some place called the Muddy Plains during their course. And you can tell from the looks on their sneakers that James and Harry have been through a muddy place, whereas Charles's sneakers look clean as new. During the Boston Marathon, Sally overtook Nicole, who was in 2nd place. Then, in what place did Sally finish the race? She finished the race in 2nd place because the riddle states that she overtook Nicole in 2nd place, which means she took over Nicole's position and became the new 2nd place runner. Janine was a biology teacher. At the beginning of the semester, she gave each student 1 seed and said that only the person who grew the most beautiful flower would get an A in her class. By the end of the semester, all students came back with beautiful flowers except Billy, who came with an empty pot, but he was the only one who got an A. Why is that? It's because the seeds Janine gave all the students were fake, so Billy was the only honest person among them. Charlie's father was a wildlife photographer, and he always wanted his son to experience how it felt to be around wild animals. So, he decided to give him money that would cover all the expenses of an African safari tour. The only thing he wanted in return was for Charlie to take some photos throughout his adventure and send them to him. Charlie did that, but his father got furious and decided not to give him even a single penny anymore. Can you tell why? Take a closer look at these photos. In one of them, Charlie is wearing skis and holding ski poles in an exotic jungle. So he didn't use the money to go on an African safari tour. Instead, he went on a ski vacation and his photos are photoshopped. Ronald was going to a wedding party with his wife. Once they arrived, as Ronald was getting out of his car, he slipped and fell, hit his head, then blacked out. When he woke up a couple of hours later, he couldn't remember anything. There were two women in front of him who were both claiming to be his wife. Can you help Ronald figure out which of them is telling the truth? Remember they were going to a wedding party? That's why they were both dressed accordingly. The lady wearing sweatpants doesn't look like she was heading to a wedding. That's why Ronald's real wife must be the other one, the lady wearing a fancy dress. Leah and Andrew were getting married. After they made their vows, it was finally time to celebrate. But a jealous witch suddenly interrupted them and created two doppelgangers of Andrew to confuse Leah. Yet, the witch's trick didn't work at all, because Leah could immediately tell who the real Andrew was. How did she figure it out so fast? The first and the third Andrew's rings don't match the ring Leah is wearing, so the second Andrew is the real Andrew. A knight was riding his horse through the enchanted forest when a heavy storm began. He couldn't continue his journey like this, so he decided to find an inn to spend the night and wait for the storm to pass. However, he was out of gold coins and was not going to be able to pay. The innkeeper told him if he could answer this riddle correctly, he would let him stay there for free. What is it that walks all day on its head? It's a nail in a horseshoe. Sadie was driving to New Orleans at night when her car suddenly broke. She went out to find someone who could help, but there was only one house around. It was a spooky and weird one, but Sadie had no other choice. Once she rang the bell, 3 vampires opened the door for her. Before Sadie could even say a word, each vampire asked for her help instead, claiming that they were actually human, and the other 2 real vampires were holding them prisoner. Can you help Sadie figure out who's telling the truth? Sadie is wearing glasses, so she can point it to the vampires and see which of them has a reflection on the glass surface. Cassandra was a famous beauty influencer. To celebrate her 1 million followers, she did a huge giveaway. For 3 days, she was going to share 3 different riddles with her followers, and the one who could answer all of them correctly would win a makeup box that was $1,000 worth of products. Here is the riddle for day 1. What's black when you get it, red when you use it, and gray when you're all through with it? It's charcoal. For day 2, Cassandra shared 2 almost identical looking photos with her followers, but there were actually 3 differences between them. Can you spot what they are? The lipstick she's holding in the first photo is coral, but it's fuchsia in the second photo. The hairpin in the first photo is butterfly-shaped, but in the second one, it's bird-shaped. And lastly, this nail has glitter nail polish in the first photo, but in the second, it's the same color as the others. For day 3, Cassandra asked her followers to find out her 3 favorite movies and gave these emojis as her hint. Can you tell which movies they refer to? The first one is Silence of the Lambs. The second one is Finding Nemo. And the third one is Edward Scissorhands. Alex is hanging out in his favorite space cafe when suddenly space monsters attack his planet, and all the doors and windows of the place get sealed shut as part of the emergency protocol. However, there's actually one way to escape the place safely before the space monsters break the barriers. Can you tell how? Do you see the thing that looks like a fire alarm pull station on the wall? Well, it's not really what you think. The writing on it says, "Pull down for the escape portal," so Alex can use that. But when Alex actually uses the portal pull station, 3 different portals open in front of him. The first one leads to a gladiator arena filled with all kinds of wild animals. The second one leads to the inside of an active volcano. And the third one leads to an island inhabited by creepy sirens whose singing make everyone fall into an eternal sleep. Which one should Alex pick? Do you see the headphones Alex has inside his backpack? Well, he can use them to cancel the singing of the sirens, so he should choose the third portal. Alyssa left her gym bag in the dressing room and went to get a towel from the receptionist. But when she returned, her bag was gone. She called security and they interrogated 3 people. Jennifer said that she was taking a shower at the back. Jessica said that she had left to get something to eat from the vending machine. And Jenna said that she was talking on the phone with her boyfriend, not paying attention to anything. Who stole the bag? It's Jessica. She said that she was getting something to eat from the vending machine, but there's no food in it, only drinks.